Harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, right, that I am in and that you would like to achieve, which is also my advice for you because it is the foundation for everything that you want in romance, relationship with the true twin flame. Enjoy. So, harmonious twin flame union, I could bring you there. It is by now, I think, a known fact that I charge money for services. But me, myself, Harmonious Twin Flame Union, where I arrived in 2020, March of that year, me, myself, I got it for free, right? 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 I got it for free, right? Right? That's the question we're going to talk about in this video. Because I heard that people are thinking about this question, so maybe we should address it. And with other money questions as well, I am going to address a little bit of that for the coming days. And then afterwards, I mean, we're talking about when this video is published for the first time, but these are actually, most of them are meant as timeless videos. So that may be interesting to know as well. But when this is published next week, we will actually be doing a social media challenge that I call a game. We're going to play a money game around this topic too. And then you can, well, make sure that you make a lot of money, That's what you're going to do inside of it and learn a lot about what actually devotional money is as well. And that's a little bit what this is all going to be about as well. But I will just be addressing some entrances in the topic that are important for everyone to understand. And this is the first one of that about me, myself. I got it all for free, right? And well, the answer is, well, let's not complicate it too much in the beginning. I guess I'm going to try to explain it to you, but the answer is pretty much no. I did not get it for free. Well, of course, it depends on what you mean, of course. Like, did I have to send an envelope with 500 euro in it and make it be closed real good and then write on it like God, address of God in heaven, and then put it in the post box and then hope that someone will deliver it to God? And then, I paid my 500 euros cash. And I hope that that was enough. And then God will give me something that I can move in that direction. That's indeed not what happened. It is true in a sense that it's for free, that you let it in with your eyes closed, with a sincere heart. And it moves you. God gives when you ask. And we work with God. That's true as well. We work with God because we want to have the true thing. We want to have the real deal. And God just means source. It just means the universe. It just means whatever you make of it, or whatever title you give it is what I need to say. God is only one thing. It's just the power behind everything and all. And you need that for the true twin flame, for the joy that it is about, and for the unfoldment of all the wisdom that will be here for you to implement in your twin flame union, so that you later on, from that fulfillment that you feel in your union, also can illuminate the world around you. And then your mission is also born. And all of that only comes through source, true source. Only that. There's no other place that you can get that. So you also can't get a person and another person and some sort of put a lot of relationship glue between them so that they will stick together, and then say, well, that's the twin flame union, isn't it? Well, no, because it's only connected in relationship glue, whatever that is. Maybe that sounds like a manipulation, right? So that's not working in itself. That's not really a relationship as a result as well. And you also don't know if that's the true twin flame. And even if it is, then you're manipulating your twin flame. Well, who does that? That's not love either. So you can't be in union. Well, at least not in harmonious union. So that's all nonsense. So the only way that it's truly going to work is to go back to where you were created, to both of you, and that's in source, in the divine, at the beginning of time, the beginning of everything. So that's with God. And is God working for free? Well, you're sort of talking about two categories in a way. So does that work out? Not really. Does it give for free? You could say that it does, yeah. But why are you not yet in harmonious twin flame union and building on the physical life on the basis of that, with which I'm still busy to actually really do that? Call me slow, doesn't matter. For some people, it is quickly inside the consciousness state of harmonious unions. For other people, they need a lot extra work before they get to the physical working out of it and the building of that, because they first worked on the mental and emotional parts, for instance. There was a lot to repair. Well, that's, for instance, for me, very much the case. So it depends. But you're not there yet. That's the point. That's why we're talking about this, right? You're not there yet, and you would like to, and I advise that, because it's beautiful beyond belief. And to say that it is worth it to go the whole route, whatever it takes, is just the understatement of the century. So it healed everything inside and around me that you could ever imagine, and in my ancestors and in my future generations. It healed everything that you could ever imagine. And the relationship between me and God is healed. Me and Divine Mother, I would like to say, because that's one of the entrances with God that is really close to my heart. And she is always helping me also in these videos and whatnot, and when I would help you and whatnot. Very directly, very powerfully. It would just, you're blown away. I'm always blown away by it, and you would be blown away by it as well. I'm sure of that, because I see it. It's like it is just visible in front of me, happening to people that I guide, that they're blown away. Anyway, so you're not there yet in harmonious twin flame union, in connection with the divine directly, because that's how that is established, and there's nothing outside of that is the same. However much fantasy you're going to use with it or something, it's just not that, right? It needs to be that. There's only that is about the true twin flame, and therefore union, and therefore what you want. Otherwise, you will have a lot of problems that you're really not looking for. And if not now, then on the soul level, in a relationship with God, in your next lifetimes, etc., etc. Deep problems you get when you don't do that one on the soul level. And I don't want that for you. That's also why I only pass on this. And also because I can't do anything else. I'm not fit for anything else. So there you go. So you're not there. And that's why we're here looking at, okay, so maybe God gives for free, so-called, right? But we'll say, temporarily say, we'll talk more about all of these questions, even the coming videos, coming days, and in the social media game as well, about money. Anyway, so you're not there yet, but you want to be. But God gives for free, we'll say temporarily. And so what do? Well, you go to a place where they have it, where they can give it to you, where they can exude that energy and have an overview of the human development part, and have also methodology with which they can help you, and have a system set up so that they can help multiple people, and you're sure that it will be working out for you, and they make their time free for you to be able to do that and help you, and you move there and you make use of the methodology, of the time and the expertise of the person, of their professionality, of their exuding the actual real thing from their soul out. They offer you their relationship that is repaired between them and Divine Mother, so that you can sort of borrow that for the time being, and then that will make it come true for you. And because there is this other person involved, and there's a lot of things involved with time and with effort and with energy and with structures and with mutual respect, and there's a relationship involved, and there's a professionality involved, and there's involved making time free to be able to do that, and all of that, and on and on and on, right, makes that it's logic that you're also going to work with money. Now, this was some sort of an example of what pretty much is like how I work, right? Some elements of how I indeed work. Later, more about how I truly work. So stay tuned, because you really want to understand this. It's for your benefit I'm explaining this. But for me, when I was not there yet, so I needed to go there and I didn't know how. Well, what was very costly was 25 years of wandering around, being lost in this topic, not knowing what the truth was and how to really proceed. That was very expensive, because it costed me 25 years of my life in which I did not have a steady relationship, in which I did not have the twin flame, in which I did not have, well, all kinds of benefits that people usually actually look for in a relationship, such as like societal acknowledgement, financial stability, emotional intimacy, the deep friendship, the doing things together, the having counsel with each other, having like a respectful picture to show your family and society, and financial benefits, even from the government and whatnot. Children I did not have, how to get them, I don't know. Well, we know how to get children without a partner, but I mean, that was not what I wanted. It was costly because I was wasting my young years, in which I have had, of course, like a lot of energy and a lot of fertility in my body. And the older you get as a woman, the more you get worried about if that all is still working out. It is, in general, there is of course a reason that biologically, in very general speaking, very young people are actually fertile the most, etc. So this was very costly. And also because I was wandering around, spending money on things that it wasn't. And also because I was actually so much distraught about all of this. And I actually also was in trauma, without necessarily in all phases of my life consciously acknowledging that fully, or being able to oversee what that meant. I was also needing to take a lot of time, years and years, in which I was not really able to, for instance, have, well, what they call in my family, a good job with a good salary. So I missed out all these year salaries, year after year after year, that I could have potentially had if I would have, for instance, could have gotten, if I were not abused and traumatized and whatnot, a good job in the field that I had studied for on a high level, so that you could see that there would be a high level income as well. So there was also no income. So that was very expensive. That's also where I lost hundreds of thousands of euro that I otherwise could have had. But there is more. This was some sort of a sad story in a sense, and it is also for a large part the ego personality story of Petra that I am no longer. And that's maybe good to know and also interesting for you to know. Because harmonious twin flame union truly means that you are transformed. I am no longer that person. But there had to be a way, a route, a path, steps to come where I'm now. I'm now animated by Divine Mother. But I wasn't. You heard that of my story. I had all these sad stories about I'm not young anymore and I want to impress my family and I don't have anyone to talk with at home. Sad story. Oh. So that's like, that person doesn't exist anymore. I don't know who that was. But there had to be a way to get where I'm now, to get at this place where I'm now. You know, I'm right now where I am, I'm initiated to be a twin flame spiritual teacher by Divine Mother herself. That was also that one was not for free. So it depends on how you look at it, because, you know, God infused it in me. But because I'm a human being, there are all kinds of things that cost. The passage of time, needing money for my life sustenance. I need to eat something, right? I need to have a house. Well, I would like to have a house. I'm sorry. How about you? Would you like to have a house? You know, so it costs, and it also costs a lot in. Well, I will get at that. I will try to get at that. So so the person I was no longer exists, and Divine Mother brought me also in the initiation of becoming this teacher of her, right? And that was maybe most of all, you know, like setting me apart to be someone completely different. But anyway, there we are. Harmonious Twin Flame Union is already doing that on a more like the personal, private level part in a certain sense, you know, and you will experience some form of this yourself. This is a good transformation. Don't be afraid of it. But we're talking about if it costs something, you know. So I talked a little bit about, you know, yeah, some sad reasons, you know, that it costs actually a lot that are actually kind of grounded and normal. So I guess that's a good idea to one time, you know, talk about that a little bit. But I also went to spiritual teachers. My spiritual teachers were men. It's some sort of thing that you might be surprised about, like, but this is about women, right? We're like women among each other here. Well, that's not true as well. Well, we need to make another video about that, I think. But yeah, that's another question. So my spiritual teachers were men. But there are also women around these men, etc. Right? But it's not exclusively men because I want to have a man as a spiritual teacher. That's not how it was, but it was like that nevertheless. And there's actually also an internal divine order reason why that is actually so. Because God in the father sense, in the male sense, is actually very necessary for the order of things, and also to give us structures, among which working with money. Look, we just work with money on the earth because we're physical here. We need to work with dealing with physicality. We want to make it fair and stuff. You know, we exchange things and we want to make that fair. Well, how to do that? Well, money is a beautiful instrument to make that fair and work out. that you ask a certain energy amount of a teacher and you want to give back the same amount, but in such a way that they can decide what to do with this number of money, because they know what is necessary in their life and community that needs money. And it gives them that freedom to spend it where they need it. So let's say it like this for a moment, consumed a lot of spiritual coaching. And I spent tens of thousands on that. And towards direct and only set apart twin flame coaching, Harmonious Union twin flame coaching, around €6,000. But I spent a couple of 10,000 or something in more traditional spiritual journey coaching, which eventually does bring you in the same field of spiritual light. But the twin flame coaching in specific brings a leading edge element into that and an extra orderly element into that, through which you can be with your true twin flame early on, like immediately. Well, taking into account what we sort of say about it, right? And you need to buy the coaching and put the energy in, etc. And live that in harmonious union right now, while you actually do the rest of the spiritual traditional journey together with them, or whatever remains for you to live through together, which is still a lot, At least after harmonious twin flame union, the consciousness state, there's a lot to move through, to see in the landscape around you still, and process in your inner work, that will lead you to what I call gold consciousness. And in the context of where I got harmonious union coaching, it was talked about as perfect union, which is also talked about, a term that is used in a broader context and in multiple religious contexts as well. Because, this is also going to need to be another video, but we're not afraid for religion here as well, because it's just maybe a more ordered way of doing the spiritual journey that is more societally acknowledged. But in principle, the deep personal inner work spiritual journey can be discerned inside these systems of thought as well. So we're not afraid of that. Sometimes people are afraid of that, and that can very well be because you have some sort of religious trauma. And then that is what you need to, point out for yourself as a healing point. And you need to do the key inner work tool for twin flames, what we do here, on that point. And that's actually the same for, many people are upset about the money idea, the money topic. And that's the same. Maybe you're just traumatized around the idea of money somehow. And that's important to note. And then you can put that apart as like, okay, I need to focus on that one day to resolve that with the true twin inner work, the true twin flame inner work with Key. Because you can transform that and then get rid of such upsets that are maybe very old and inside your system for decades already, who knows, for generations sometimes. And but you can heal them. So that's the same, like the whole question that this video started with, like harmonious twin flame union, me, myself, I got it for free, right? Well, that is actually pointing out that you're upset about the topic of money. And that's also a projection onto me. of what you are having as an upset, which is also very unkind to project it onto me. But it says everything about yourself. So that's a good thing that you got to know that now. And now you can put that as step 1 in your key tool, version 1 or version 2, and work yourself through that to heal it, and do that over and over the course of time, so that you truly heal this complete topic in your life. So that's what that comes down to. So did I get it for free? So the answer is no, because as I've tried to some sort of give you a picture of, in my life, I spent 25 years that was very costly before I got the true thing and went completely all in. And then it took me 2 years to go to Harmonious Union. And then it took me 4 years to live through the entire after Harmonious Union healing wave. So another 6 years. So there's 31 years. That's kind of costly. As you've heard in a little bit of my explanations, I spent hundreds of thousands on my journey in total. I once did a calculation that was some years ago. I did that. That was around 500,000 I invested in my complete journey. But the most important, very expensive thing was the third one. And I didn't even talk about that yet, but here it comes. So it was for free for me, right? No. It costed me my ego. And that was everything I thought I was and had. It was all these ideas about social life, all these hopes and dreams about society. And it costed me all of it. And that was the most expensive. But to whom is it expensive? To whom exactly is this expensive? To whom is the ego loss expensive? Well, that's only the ego itself, right? To whom exactly is 31 years of time expensive? Well, to the ego. Because once you arrive, it doesn't matter anymore. Because you've just arrived. You forget the rest. Time doesn't exist in the place where you arrive. And that's a hallmark of having truly arrived. So is 500,000 euro, is that expensive? Or like a couple tens of thousands for true spiritual teacher number 1 and 6,000 for Twin Flame spiritual teacher number 2? And more costs around that. Around the whole journey. Is that expensive? No. Because I wanted that. I wanted my union above everything. I wanted to be happy. I chose for my relationship with Divine Mother. And in that, I have everything. And it does not matter how much I spend there. I give everything into it, still, every day. And also, as a true Twin Flame teacher right now, I still invest. At this moment, I have a new project to maintain what I have and to say thank you, to express my gratitude, in which I recently accepted a new spiritual director. Who would have thought? Not me. And I spent around €100 per month on that. And I spend €100 per month in investment in even having this whole business. So that's like 200 per month. Is my devotional giving at the baseline of what is necessary for me to even be here and do this, plus all my time, which is also a full monthly salary. So like no matter how much I get back of that is what I mean. So that's what I invest right now. But would I want to do what I do now? Yes. Would I want to do it unconditionally, what I do now? Yes. More about that also in other videos. I give everything that I own and have and want into Divine Mother. But you see, I got to a place where I think entirely upside down. I give it inside of Divine Mother. And I love that. I want to give everything that I own and have into Divine Mother. It's not a cost for me anymore. What does it cost? I hope it's for free, right? No, I give into it. And that's how I got here, and that's how I maintain it. To put voluntarily and unconditionally money into it. To then, within that physical relationship, that of course also works with money because we're normal here. It's just normal. It's just included in life because it is included in life. That's not me saying that. I'm not a weirdo because I include money in life. Everyone includes money in life. So me as well. I'm really trying to be as normal as it gets here. So otherwise, I wouldn't be able to share anything with you at all. So there you go. Right? That I wouldn't be on YouTube, etc. So, did I get it all for free? Well, within the normalness of money included living, let's put it like that, I get my relationship with the Divine Mother in a directness that is here right now. That is a revelation, and it opens up, and it passes on, and it gives, and it gives, and it gives. And that takes place within the normality of a money-related life. That I gave you some insight in what things had costed for me in that aspect. So, did I get my Harmonious TwinFlamergy Union for free? You decide. Let me know with an answer below this video. I'm curious what you think, what you feel the conclusion of this discussion actually is. And I hope that helps. Love from Petra.